Across the wide bay Burnett, this is Win News.
Tonight, hats thrown into the ring 9 months out from the council elections. Pleas for answers following the Deepwater bushfire review. And 80 years in the making, new bells ring out over Bundaberg. Good evening, welcome to Win Local News. I'm Melissa Russell. Also tonight, the fish are biting and the scales are bulging at the VMR Fishing Classic. It's been a tumultuous term for Fraser Coast Regional Council, but now attention is turning to the next election. Tonight, Win News can exclusively reveal Paul Truscott is the first councillor putting his hand up to run again in the 2020 elections.
It's been an interesting term for Fraser Coast Regional Council. The elected mayor was dismissed by the Minister for Local Government, Sterling Hinchliffe. Then George Seymour took the top spot in a landslide victory. Now attention is turning to the next term, and the first person to throw their hat in the ring is incumbent councillor Paul Truscott.
I'm really excited today to announce that I'm absolutely intending to stand for council again.
I don't think it's too premature. 9 months out, we've still got a way to go, but it's coming to the end of the term.
Paul Truscott is no stranger to politics, working for state and federal members in the past. But he says it's questions from locals that inspired him to run again.
Will you continue in this role? If the people will have me, I absolutely would love to.
And says his proven track record will be the basis of his council campaign.
Bringing more RVs into Maryborough, getting fuel back at the Maryborough Airport, bringing smart communities strategy to council, bringing other policies in like a Sun Smart policy and planting 100,000 trees in our region.
The Anzac Park Water Park and the Tanana Sports Precinct are top on the councillor's priority list if he's elected again. And it won't be long until his corflutes are littering our streets. Meanwhile, George Seymour announced he'll be running for the position at the head of the table for a second time.
I think there's quite a lot more to do, and I think the council's got back on track.
But who gets a seat at the table is ultimately up to Fraser Coast residents, who will have their chance to have their say on who they want at the local government elections in March next year. Hope Wilson, Win News.
It's been revealed Wide Bay MP Lou O'Brien was involved in a nasty accident on the Sunshine motorway yesterday. Having just left the airport, Mr O'Brien's electoral vehicle was written off after being rear-ended by another vehicle while they were stopped in traffic. Lou O'Brien's Chief of Staff Simon Kelly was driving the vehicle, but thankfully neither was seriously harmed. The member for Wide Bay says it's a stark reminder before school holidays about road safety. Member for Burnett, Stephen Bennett, is calling on the state government to release the findings of the review into the state government's response to the Deepwater bushfires. He says it's long overdue.
You put this stuff out and put it into the public domain for people to make a comment on. You can't keep hiding stuff.
The devastating fire burnt through 28,000 hectares of land. Mr Bennett says locals need this review to prepare for the upcoming bushfire season.
The people of Deepwater, Baffle, really need to know about lessons learned and about, more importantly, preparedness for a next event.
A spokesperson for Acting Fire and Emergency Minister Mark Ryan told Win News the report is with the government for a whole-of-government response and will be released to the public as soon as possible. Central Queenslanders are being warned to start preparing now with another dangerous bushfire season on the horizon. A dry, windy winter has hampered hazard control burns, increasing the risk of more out-of-control fires when the mercury begins to rise.
Horrifying fire fronts racing towards homes and properties, fanned by wild winds and scorching temperatures. Last November, our region was confronted with unprecedented conditions. But it's a situation we could be facing again this year.
We're looking at an outlook that could be quite high to dangerous at the present time due to the dry conditions and the fuel load that we're carrying through Rockhampton and the central Queensland.
After a failed wet season across many parts of our region, it's been a dry and windy winter, making it almost impossible for authorities to conduct control burns.
Hopefully those conditions will change and they'll be able to undertake some of those kill burns before the fire season proper.
The heavier fuel load could create a dangerous mix for fire crews.
It makes it a lot harder to get the fires under control. They burn a lot deeper, they burn a lot hotter, they spread quicker and put a lot more assets under threat.
I think with climate change and the way that we're having drier and droughts around, it is adding to that fuel load, which is making fires much more of a risk as we go further into the future.
While bushfire season is still some months away, now is the time to start preparing. Those on properties should start cutting in fire breaks and clearing debris, while everyone should have an up-to-date evacuation plan.
We're just getting that message out there for residents to have a look around their homes, do a little bit of work there just to tidy up now.
More information on fire breaks can be found online. Laura Gardner, Win News.
From next week, Wide Bay drivers will be slugged even more for licence fees and registrations. From July 1, we'll be charged 2.25% more for registration, while a 5-year licence will rise from $176 to $180. The RACQ has slammed the price hike as outrageous.
We have some of the most expensive costs for drivers in Australia, so this is just another point on the hip pocket that's going to hurt, and drivers are already feeling the pinch.
If you are caught exceeding the speed limit, the fine for speeding between 13 and 20 kilometres an hour will increase to $266. The state government says the changes are in line with the Consumer Price Index. A Queensland mother is trying to make children's hospital visits more enjoyable by creating a story about the magic rainbow smell in anaesthesia masks. Amy Hare has 2 children with a rare bowel disease, meaning they have to undergo multiple serious surgeries.
Little Lucas is just 5 years old, but he has had 17 surgeries in his short life, born with a rare disease where his bowel doesn't have any nerves.
Lucas is about a 1 in 1 million case. He's very, very rare with the extremity of his Hirschsprung's disease.
Hospital visits became difficult for the family and frightening for Lucas.
It was a horrible experience. He, poor thing, kicked and screamed, and for him that's horrible, but as a parent you're the one forcing him and making him do something that he doesn't understand is going to help him.
Amy had another child, Callan, who was also born with the disease. He was taken into his first surgery at 3 days old. Knowing how challenging times can be with children in hospital, Amy wanted to help make the process easier for other people. Sitting in her car at traffic lights on her way back to hospital, an idea was born.
I saw a rainbow outside and it was just this instant, oh my gosh, I'll tell him that the mask that they put on his face is filled with rainbow smells and it's rainbow medicine that puts him to sleep.
That moment was a catalyst for the creation of her book, Can You Smell the Rainbow? The colourful children's story, already a hit with her own.
What if I wake up? Lucas is really worried now.
You can find the book on Amy's website where you can buy a hard or digital copy. Mayor Fellows Win News.
There were some impressive catches reeled in for day 1 of the annual VMR Bundaberg Family Fishing Classic. It was a perfect day to get the boat out and throw in a line. Local fisherman Glenn Birch is in the running for a prize for his flathead.
Well, it's the maximum size. It's 75 centimetres, so that's they can't weigh in anything longer than that.
More than 1,000 people are expected to enter.
Folk can fish offshore or in the rivers, and again about 30% of our catch is catch and release.
This year's event runs over 3 days to increase the number of participants, and organisers are also giving away a boat and trailer each day. Coming up next on Win News, we delve into our archives and revisit when the Butchulla people were recognised as traditional owners of Fraser Island, and the new bells of the Bundy Christchurch peal out across town.
It could say a bunch of stuff about driving dynamics and precision handling, but all you need to know is it's pretty fun to drive. Turn on the fun with Toyota Corolla. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Emmy winner and 3-time Grammy-nominated recording artist Tony Childs celebrates the 30-year anniversary of her album Union with a retrospective of her life's work. The Tony Childs Retrospective tours 60 theatres across Australia. Tickets on sale now. Go to tonychilds.com for a theatre near you.
It's mid-year sale time at Carpet Court. Save on a wide range of carpets, flooring, blinds and rugs. Carpet Court. Dream it, style it, live it.
What could I do with a bonus $50? I could catch a movie.
Open a new Westpac Choice account before July 9 and get a helpful $50. It only takes 3 minutes online.
Don't just get your four-wheel drive equipped, get it equipped by the brand that has been trusted by Australian off-roaders for more than 40 years. Get your four-wheel drive equipped with gear that's been designed, tested and engineered right here in Australia. Don't just get your four-wheel drive equipped, get it TJM equipped. For on or off-road, for work or play. To find your nearest store, head to tjm.com.au.
Corolla's hybrid technology charges while you drive, so the fun can go on and on. And on. Turn on the fun with Toyota Corolla. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Why Aussie footy stars are being urged to donate their brains to science. 6:30.
Miguel's whipping up some chocolate brownies in just 3 minutes. Wow. Find out how on The Living Room tonight on Win.
A new set of church bells were heard pealing across Bundaberg for the first time today. The Christchurch Peace Bells were rung out across the city, following a special service this morning marking the centenary of the Treaty of Versailles. The congregation then moving to the lawn to experience the 6 bells in all their glory. It's a moment 80 years in the making for the Anglican parish, where they will now happily fill the War Memorial Tower for many more years to come. As we continue delving into our archives, it's been 5 years since the Butchulla people were recognised as the traditional owners of Fraser Island. It came after years of applications to the Federal Court of Australia, but the fight is far from over. The traditional owners of our lands are now fighting to change the World Heritage Island's name to Gari.
An historic moment in history, one the descendants of the original inhabitants of the island have been fighting for 20 years.
We're family of the traditional owner, and just I can't believe it. It's wonderful.
Glenn Miller's mum made the first application 18 years ago.
It's sad that some of our elders aren't here today to share this with us, but I'm sure they're here in spirit. And yeah, it's a pretty moving day for us all.
The Butchulla people made 2 applications to the Federal Court of Australia seeking recognition of their native title rights and interests under the Native Title Act 8 years ago. In the special sitting, Federal Court Justice Collier recognised the people's rights over 1,640 square kilometres of the island's national park and the Butchulla people as the traditional owners of the land.
The majority of Fraser Island, with a few limited exceptions, is now subject to native title, that native title being vested in the Butchulla people.
The Butchulla community will now have rights to hunt, fish, camp, use the natural resources including water, as well as erecting cultural sites and undertaking cultural ceremonies.
The history of Australia and the European civilisation in Australia is very closely linked with that of the Butchullas here on Fraser Island.
Captain Cook first sighted Fraser Island's Butchulla people in 1770, but locals believe the island's population had been there for more than 20,000 years. Today, the population were proud of their due recognition.
In its latest marketing campaigns, Fraser Coast Tourism and Events is capitalising on the recent royal visit to Fraser Island. In October, international attention turned to the World Heritage Site as Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex explored the idyllic waters of Fraser Island and met with the traditional landowners. But the power couple weren't the only members of our royal family to grace our region with their presence. The next in line to the throne, Prince Charles, also making an appearance.
A future king touring down under, and from his very first step, Prince Charles was made to feel at home. A brief appearance at the airport before being whisked away to something that is so Australian, the Big Bundy barbecue. Anticipation is building here at the Bundaberg Rum Distillery, where organisers expect around 5,000 spectators to turn out to welcome Prince Charles. It's been 24 years since Prince Charles last visited Bundaberg, and he had a joke about that. According to the Prince, it's taken that long to gather the courage to take another swig of our famous rum.
Fruitcake, cloves, fingers on the tongue. I'm trying to find the fruitcake.
There was a bottle of Bundy to take home. Then it was time to join local legend Dr. Cole Limpus to celebrate 50 years of turtle conservation at Monrepos. When he addressed the waiting crowd, that sense of humour was still intact.
Ladies and gentlemen, before either the microphones blow away or the roof on this thing collapses.
Prince Charles praised the work of our region's emergency services.
Somehow you've managed, regardless of what happens. And that is one of the great characteristics I've always admired ever since I first came here 52 years ago.
It's not often royalty pops into Bundaberg, a rare moment to get close to a monarchy that is still loved by so many. The Prince's final excursion was to Lady Elliot Island, then it was back to the Gold Coast and the Commonwealth Games.
In 2016, more than 8,000 fans packed the grounds of Bundaberg's Salter Oval to watch an NRL trial match between the Broncos and Cowboys. The Broncos won the game 48-26, but the real winners were Bundy locals, given an experience they'll never forget.
The weather conditions may have been dismal, but the rain certainly didn't dampen spirits at Salter Oval on Saturday night. More than 8,000 fans packed the grounds to watch the Cowboys take on the Brisbane Broncos.
I'm so excited that they're coming to Bundy, of all places.
Fans were keen to watch the NRL trial match.
Go Broncos!
Most of the times they have trial matches everywhere else, and it's good because Bundy loves their footy and they like the Cowboys and Broncos, so it's good for them to get the opportunity to play here.
Some found shelter in the stands. Other dedicated fans didn't mind squeezing into some soggy seating, sloshing through mud in search of the closest vantage point to watch last year's grand finalists take the field. Rain drenched the grounds in the afternoon, but it didn't stop thousands from pouring in early to watch the pre-show entertainment from local band Stone Rose Redemption. Locals were exposed to a cheeky kind of entertainment.
I hope you saw a boyfriend and girlfriend.
Even uniting enemies before the big game.
A Broncos and a Cowboys.
But love wasn't in the air for long. After days of heavy rainfall and flooding, the clouds parted just after 6, giving players some reprieve at kick-off. The Brisbane Broncos won the game 48-26, but the real winners were the people of Bundaberg, with the event giving locals an experience they'll never forget.
But I'm just pleased we came here and entertained. It's great to bring the game here and see so many people under such conditions, and remind you what rugby league's what's so good about it all.
The Brisbane Broncos coach says he hopes to see his team return, but only time will tell.
Sport is up next, and Queensland's surfing champions will be crowned this weekend. Plus, our region gears up for the Confraternity Shield.
What's the #1 reason to drive a Mazda before June 30? EOFY value. Get Mazda CX-5 Max from only $33,490 drive away. Find your reason today.
Don't just get your four-wheel drive equipped, get it equipped by the brand that has been trusted by Australian off-roaders for more than 40 years. Get your four-wheel drive equipped with gear that's been designed, tested and engineered right here in Australia. Don't just get your four-wheel drive equipped, get it TJM equipped. For on or off-road, for work or play. To find your nearest store, head to tjm.com.au.
In Australia, there are not too many things more important than water. And if you depend on water, you probably already depend on Davey Water Products. Davey has water solutions for just about every aspect of life. From inside to outside, work to play, and just about everywhere in between. Davey has been innovating around water in Australia for over 75 years, and we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. You can depend on that, and you can depend on Davey.
Hi, the fantabulous Australian Psychic Expo is back.
Fantabulous! Connie and her psychics are back at Brothers Sports Club, June 27 to July 8. See you at the Expo. See you
It's our June-ormous used car sale, so now Bundaberg Toyota means business. With hundreds of quality used cars to choose from, now is the best time to drive away with June-ormous savings. But be quick, deals must end June 30 at Bundaberg Toyota.
Toy Mania's back at Big W. Go mad for Monopoly Mario Kart Gamer. Half price just $19.50. Or go bonkers for Barbie Dream Plane, just $89. Hurry, sale ends July 10 while stocks last.
When's the best time to tell a new partner that you love them? Pucker up at 6:30.
A new Graham Norton.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
OMG.
You know, I loved so much about the church. I loved the music, I loved the liturgy. Decided that I would make a wonderful priest if there weren't one small problem, and that is that I didn't believe in God. New Graham Norton. It'd be a sin to miss it.
Welcome back. In school sport, the July school holidays mean one thing for league players around Queensland. It's Confraternity Shield time. The historic carnival returns to Bundaberg, where it all began 40 years ago. And Yapoon's St Brendan's boys are out to nab some silverware.
Bringing together 48 schools from across Queensland, the Confraternity Carnival is one of the most distinguished schoolboy rugby league tournaments.
The goal, first and foremost, is actually to win Confraternity, so it's quite a prestigious trophy to win, the Confraternity Shield. So the school's been lucky enough to win it in the past, so hopefully this year is another one of those years.
The Brendans boys have been putting in the hard work in the lead up to the 5-day carnival, but there's one thing the school believes will set them apart.
I just think they have a tight brotherhood, obviously being a boarding school. A lot of the boys are actually on campus here, so they're pretty tight-knit.
Finishing third in the recent Aaron Payne Cup season, they'll be up against some familiar foe.
Really tough. We've come up against a few of the schools and they've been really tough, and we're really looking forward to the rivalry. A lot of teams are playing, we don't get to play very often, so just a different team to play against is always good.
Graduates of the carnival include the likes of Cameron Munster, Jonathan Thurston, Corey Oates and Michael Morgan, with the next generation ready and waiting to step out on the field come Monday.
Just play as a team and don't let each other down, and positive energy and positive talk, and we'll be right.
Erin Buchan, Win News.
To surfing now, and Sienna Hanna is eager to prove she has what it takes to earn a place in the trials of next year's World Tour event. Reporter Danielle Kavanagh caught up with the rising star.
Queensland surfing champions will be crowned this weekend on the Gold Coast. Twin Waters product Sienna Hanna is leading the standings heading into the final round. I'm joined by Sienna now. Sienna, how are you feeling about this weekend?
Yeah, I feel pretty confident. I've done well in both of the first two so far. I've placed second at the first comp at Kira and placed fourth place in the comp at Coolum. So yeah, that was great.
You must be feeling really confident. So what would this crown mean to you?
It'd mean a lot. It's a good opportunity for me to get out there and get, I guess, my name out there a bit more. And yeah, it'd be so exciting and good opportunity to surf with some of the pros and everything, yeah.
The best outcome this weekend is that you could land a spot on the Roxy Pro Trials. How would that feel?
Oh, so amazing. I'll be so stoked. It's probably a dream, so yeah, be happy to get it.
Well, good luck and thanks for chatting to us today, and we hope you can bring home the title.
Thanks so much.
The Queensland Championship circuit kicks off tomorrow morning on the Gold Coast. Danielle Kavanagh, Win News.
And that is our night in sport. Hayley's up next with the weather details. And Hayley, how's the weekend shaping up?
Good evening, Mel. Well, conditions should remain relatively fine. A few possible showers for parts. All the details are coming up.
Don't just get your four-wheel drive equipped, get it equipped by the brand that has been trusted by Australian off-roaders for more than 40 years. Get your four-wheel drive equipped with gear that's been designed, tested and engineered right here in Australia. Don't just get your four-wheel drive equipped, get it TJM equipped. For on or off-road, for work or play. To find your nearest store, head to tjm.com.au.
Nature knows it's better to be part of a group. That's why Bupa members pay nothing for dental checkups at Members First Platinum providers. Available on combined hospital and extras with general dental up to yearly limits. Call Bupa to join.
Bundaberg Toyota means business with our June Norma sale. Get clearance prices and save thousands across the entire range of new Toyotas. The savings are enormous at the June Norma sale at Bundaberg Toyota. But be quick, these deals only last till June 30.
What are we doing this weekend?
Just the usual. Get into Anaconda this weekend for the Spinifex 2 3x3 gazebo, just $99, save $200. Anaconda!
Out here, we spend most days looking at lines, crop lines, irrigation lines. Yet we can easily miss the lines that matter most.
Stop!
Take care. Stay line aware.
Steelrite do more than just sell steel. There's a massive range of fencing products. Barb, plain wire, gates, gate fittings, chain wire, mesh and custom-made products. Everything for the job at the right price. Get it right. Steelrite.
You gotta come on.
Scrumptious. Succulent. MasterChef is giving lamb a leg up.
Got the pure soul of a great roast driven into it. My mouth is singing knockout.
7:30 Sunday on Win.
Welcome back. Well, strong winds persisted about the region today. Bundaberg recorded peak gusts of 52 kilometres an hour around lunchtime, also hitting its maximum temperature then in the low 20s. According to the apparent temperature, though, the warmest it actually felt throughout the day was 17 degrees. This magnificent weather photo tonight is thanks to Chris, who snapped this in the early morning from way up high, a sensational way to start the day. Let's have a look at temperatures today. 1770 topped out at 24 degrees, as did Monto after that low of 9 degrees. Bundaberg 13 to 23. That same top there for Hervey Bay, and Gympie 13 to 21. On the satellite, patchy cloud combined with onshore winds is bringing a shower or two for parts of the Queensland coast. Skies are mostly clear elsewhere under a broad ridge of high pressure. To the synoptic. Showers will start to ease about the northeast tropics from tomorrow as a wind surge moves further northwards. Elsewhere should see fine conditions, but on Sunday hazardous surf is expected about the coast, particularly in southern waters near and south of Fraser Island. On the waters tomorrow, we'll have east to southeasterly winds up to 20 knots, seas up to 2 metres, on an east to southeasterly swell up to 2.5 metres. High tide at Hervey Bay tomorrow will be at 5:30 a.m, nice and early. The low at midday and a little earlier up at Burnett Heads. Let's have a look at the Wide Bay and Burnett for tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies. There's a slight chance of a drizzle in the south, but mostly dry elsewhere. Winds will be east to southeasterly between 15 and 20 kilometres an hour in the middle of the day, easing by the early afternoon. For Bundaberg tomorrow, we can expect a top of 25 degrees, a low of 14, and the sunrise at 6:35. Let's have a look at the 7 days ahead. Partly cloudy on Sunday, the mercury stretching to a high of 25 degrees after a low of 15. Remember, surf conditions could be hazardous on Sunday, so do be mindful if you're heading to the beach. Into next week, a few clouds should return, not a whole lot of movement in the mercury, maximums hovering around the mid-20s, then cooling slightly later in the week. As always, have a fantastic evening and weekend, and Mel, it's back to you.
Thanks, Hayley. And that is Win News for Friday, June 28, and what has been our final news bulletin for the Wide Bay region. To all our staff who have put the news together over the years, our heartfelt thanks, and to you, our wonderful viewers. Thanks for your loyalty and for watching the bulletins, of which we are extremely proud of. Enjoy your evening and have a wonderful night.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, Regional Australia's #1 news source.